Okay, I think before doing this little video series that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be posting here, I think it's important to recognize that equality is a political bludgeon. That is, let's say you have two different populations, and these populations are performing unequally. What the population that performs lower by whatever metric, doesn't matter. Let's just take income. The population that performs lower, what they can do is they can say, hey, we are equal, right? We're equal. Okay, on the aggregate, we're equal populations. Right? Who can argue against? Who can argue against equality? What troglodyte would argue against equality? So they'll say, well, we're equal, right? Okay, sure. Okay, so why are we earning less? There must be something amiss. There must be some exploitation. There must be some system of privilege, of white supremacy. Right? So the doctrine of equality is used as a political bludgeon against the productive populations on the aggregate, and the doctrine of equality is used to justify aggression. Right? It's used to justify extortion from this population based on, how they are racially categorized, how they are categorized as a race. So taking out equality and just this mythology of equality, this incredibly unlikely idea that all these populations that evolved all over the world in all these different ways, skin colors one, muscle types one, and it has to do with frequencies. Right? It has to do with frequencies in terms of blood type. There can be black people and white people with the same blood type, but it's the frequencies of blood type, frequencies of muscle density, bone density, all right, and so all other physical things, and so also applies to the brain. And its differences in brain sizes as well between the populations we classify as races. Now, brain size, what does that mean? Does that mean the bigger brains are better? No. But what it means is that they're different. Okay, that is on the aggregate, the brain structures of populations, like if you analyze a whole bunch of them, are different. Okay, and so things that are different inherently are not equal. Okay, the male and female brain, right, are different. Right? Male brain's a lot bigger. Does that mean the males are smarter? No. But given that, if you have two different computers, right, and they're both different size, and they have different numbers of circuitry, which different number of neurons, then why would you ever assume that they would perform it the same? Now, maybe the smaller computer with a smaller number of circuits is actually higher performing than the bigger brain with a greater number of circuits. And maybe the smaller brain with the smaller number of neurons is more productive than the bigger brain with a bigger number of neurons. That could be. But just this assumption of equality, it's just incredibly unlikely. And what this tells me is that equality is just one of these presuppositions, kind of like God, the state, morality, and Santa Claus. It's just something that people have been trained to believe, and it is used to attack productive populations. Because if all the populations are equal, obviously individuals are not equal. That time is past, thank heavens. There was a time radical egalitarians in the Soviet Union saying that if given an identical environment, individuals would perform equivalently. Thank God people don't believe that anymore. So they're fine with, microevolution, I guess would be the equivalent. They're fine with microevolution or differences between individuals being genetic, but they're not. But differences between populations, or the analogy would be macroevolution. That is not something they're okay with. And this presupposition of equality is then defended very rigorously. It's defended at great depth. Right? Intelligent designers defend creationism at very great depth, and it's very similar to creationism. There's been evolution. It's dumber than creationism, I would say, because they accept genetic differences between individuals. They even accept genetic differences between populations, just not involving the brain, even though there's differences in the brain. So, and this presupposition of equality is used to attack the productive. And I already said that, and I'm rambling, and I'm going around in a loop. So that's the end of this video. That's all I wanted to say in this video. And so that bludgeon of equality, I'm going to do a little video series attacking. Spock and individual autonomy have been focusing on crime rates, and that's not good, I would say. But you'll see my video series. It's going to be very thorough compared to what most people have heard on this issue.